This is the Red Over reaction and preview show. Reaction to the Leyton Orient 1-1 draw yesterday, and then we'll preview Shrewsbury Town on Tuesday evening. Let's get into it. So, 1-1 draw against Leyton Orient. I think one of those games that very is how I describe it. I think one of them ones. Al, you were there. What did you think to it?
First half poor. To be honest, we couldn't create much. They played everything down Keith's side, and really, they overloaded. Both sides didn't really create much. To be honest, it was quite even. Although we didn't play at a tempo, I think we were weak in midfield, and Max Waters, I don't think we were short up front as well. But penalty, dubious penalty. From our side, we're opposite side. We thought it was a good tackle. We couldn't see what had happened. And looking back of it, it looks like the ball's hit his knee and then gone to his hand. But if that's a penalty, then the game's gone for me, because it wasn't, his arm wasn't in an awkward position or trying to do anything else. It was how he went down anyway, just to block a ball. But referee gave it, and I've seen a picture, and I've took one. Referee stood there going like that when we scored. I'm thinking, why is referee on pitch doing that? Why is he doing that? So no understanding of that. Gaffer saw it, made changes, and it worked better for us, didn't it? And we come out with a better tempo, took game to them, and cracking strike by Herbie Kane into top corner. And there were only one winner after we scored for me, and we kept, all fans were saying, got behind them, started singing, and yeah, we could have come away there and got another 3 points on road. But unfortunately, Cosgrove comes on, and in what a mad 90 seconds, 2 yellow cards. Personally, I think the first one was cheap. It was cheap. Bradley Cooper, he won ball against Bradley Cooper and put it out to the wing and won ball. We were attacking, and then next minute, I'm saying, why has he got booked for winning header? I've never seen a player get booked for winning header. Yeah, well, it was for dissent, and Way jumped up and whatever, and had to go to referee. No understanding, but Bradley Cooper can't ref there. It wasn't a head injury by a long chalk. And then foolishly, whistle went, and he went into a tackle, won't ball. Fair and square, won't ball, but kicked ball away, didn't he? And I think because whistle had gone, referee had no choice. The fact that it were after the whistle had gone, and deemed it probably not a bad tackle, but time wasting. So to come away after first half performance with a point, I think everybody left Leyton Orient happy, to be honest, and still 7 unbeaten away from home this season. So from a minus, it's a big plus for me.
Yeah, I think there's a few things there which I want to pick up on. I think the first one being we seem to struggle playing for the full 90, Andy, in a way, or it either goes one or two ways. You get the Cambridge game where we sort of nailed that starting 11 and played really well in the first half, and then sort of were home and dry by half time, or it's up to the subs to come on and change a game. Like what happened yesterday, and we've seen that more often than not, is that we've had to resort to the bench to increase the tempo or just change the game, which granted they're there for, and that's sort of Neil Collins' job, but it's a little bit confusing that we can't do that from the off for me.
I think in the first half, in my opinion, we played ourselves into lethargy. We gave the ball away miles too much. It were either passing it sideways, passing it back, or a hopeful ball forward that lost possession or were intercepted. I don't think we played particularly well. I think Adam Parks from their podcast, from Orient Podcast, he called it that their 2 wingers in the first half in particular were particularly good, and they took us on. You know, I'd said to him that I thought that we were a bit susceptible down the wings with, wide men getting down to the line and putting it back. And I think that's what happened quite a few times. I thought that we came out better in the second half, but the first half weren't very good. I think Alan said it. We were particularly susceptible down the right-hand side. I don't think players are human beings, aren't they? I don't think Corey O'Keefe had his best game. I don't think he were alone. I think in the first half, Herbie Kane didn't have a particularly good game. I think there were quite a few. I thought the defence were pretty strong again, and I thought Ben Killip had a great debut. You know, I think most people were really worried when the news came out that that Roberts was injured and according to reports might be out for quite for a number of weeks. But Killip did really well. I thought he did really well. I'm with Alan about the penalty. If that's a penalty, the game's gone to pot. They need to change this rule. This rule where that's a penalty is absolutely insane. You know, I saw one a few weeks ago against Wolverhampton Wanderers where a player tried to cross it. It's hit a player's leg, come near and bounced up onto his hand. Penalty, even with VAR. So they've got to change that. That's just insane. Referee must have X-ray vision, can see through players because he couldn't see it. So he had to go. I thought he had to go with the linesman, and that linesman's got the vision of Superman to get a penalty out of that. Truthfully, I thought the decision was shocking. And I noticed what Neil Collins said afterwards that I don't know. You think these things happen. You know, a lot of people say these things even themselves out. No, they don't. That's a load of rubbish. If they even themselves out, we wouldn't have had one penalty last season in 46 league games. We've had 4 given against us in 13 games. And despite having many appeals ourselves, nothing. So Neil Collins said these things happen. And I thought you were quite circumvent with these things happen, but they seem to happen against us, not for us. And I think that in a very careful way, summed it up really. The sending off, I thought a mixture of things really. Again, we had a penalty that I think the game's gone stupid if that's a penalty. The game's gone stupid if that's a booking for the first one. And I think sometimes referee, I'm assuming he got, I hope, well, I'm going to say I hope, because I hope it's not for the header. I think he probably got booked for dissent because, he chucked his toys out of it. But referees have got to have a bit of common sense because, they give an awful decision like that and then book the player because the player gets very, very frustrated. He shouldn't have got frustrated. But, we're human beings and we're playing a high-pressure game where we're trying to, we're trying to claw a goal back, trying to win. So I thought that was daft myself. I thought that was daft, particularly by the referee. But I don't think Sam Cosgrove did himself any great favours, which proved to be the case not shortly afterwards when, if you look at a replay before he went in for the tackle with it, he's been ragged about. He's trying to get to the ball and he's been blocked off and ragged about a bit. So he went in hard, but he won it fairly. Now, what it's a booking for, I have absolutely no idea, unless he thinks he's trying to waste time by kicking ball away, unless he thinks that he's gone in overtly aggressively that he didn't like. But the consistency is shocking. The referee legged over. He couldn't get the red card out of his pocket quick enough, which is contrast to the Blackpool game, where the referee would go into his pocket to give a second yellow card, and then as he's going across, thought better of it and put it back in his pocket. Now, for me, yesterday, the referee didn't give himself time to calm down himself. I think he got it on. I think he was chucking his teddy out the cot and all. So I think he needs to, in my personal view, needs to have a long hard look at himself. But that's not negating that Sam needs to as well, because it meant we were down to 10 men and we weren't going to win the game, sadly. Herbie Kane's goal, right goal. It were, he got the ball. He played a lot better in the second half. He linked play up. He took the ball. He called for it. Took the ball beautifully to one side. Smacked it. That they're goals that should win games. They should win games. So well done to him. I don't know. Well done to him. But Alan says that he came away happy after one. I found it incredibly frustrating. But we got ourselves out of a hole and then chucked us sends back in it. But well done to getting a point. It continues, and let's see what happens on Tuesday night.
The reason we're happy though is because he bagged that KFC on that on Al's bingo card for a wild card in there for us. One to full English. He'd gone for a KFC yesterday.
Well, when it goes at Big Smoke, $3.99 in London.
Oh God, he's off.
What? Hey.
Can't you can't to know all, can you? You can't to know to them prices.
£6 a pint, you know how much? £6.
I'll tell you one thing I will say, Josh, and I know there's been a lot of criticism about shirts and what have you, and we had to wear the mythical black shirt. I'm not sure why we didn't have white shirts, 2 weeks on after the fire. I find that quite bizarre. But what I would say is well done to Leyton Orient as a club, because they could have just stuck to the guns and said no, it's our home street, we play in red. But that, according to reports that that I've read, that was about making it easier for people who have degrees or full colour blindness. So playing in white while we played in black is a good step forward, and well done to the club. I think it shows a lot of respect and consideration for supporters.
Yeah, I think it is nice to see things like that. I know it's happened a couple of times recently. Was it Apo Halm who were colourblind? So we had to do it a couple of times and ask other clubs to do it. So it is nice to see sort of a little bit of sportsmanship, really, and obviously helps out with fans as well. Tracy, anything much to add to that? Obviously, I mean, the referee's performance has been
rubbished,
investigated, and discussed. But I think, what more about our performance, realistically, of what can we do to change it? Because obviously that first half wasn't the greatest, by all accounts.
Yeah, the first half we looked well disjointed. We didn't really have it. Was if we didn't have a game plan in the first half. I felt a bit for Josh Benson, who, I mean, I don't think he touched the ball more than 5 times at all. We just bypassed the midfield. Now, that could be because they didn't get themselves involved. Like we said, Herbie Kane probably had a poor first half. But when Benson did get on the ball, he looked to be effective, but he barely touched the ball. We persisted in trying to, well, I thought we did a mixture. We did back to the crab football for a while, where we passed it around the back three. And then rather than I don't mind that if we pick out passes, but then we sort of got frustrated and then just banged it over the top. And I think McCart was really guilty in the first half of just banging it up front with the means of, I can't get it to Cadden. There's nobody in midfield free, so I'm just going to kick it up front. And I thought Cole in the first half worked so hard chasing just aimless balls on his own, because Waters then didn't. So we got that back to that. We've got one centre forward pressing, one centre forward not. And I know he's been up for some criticism, Waters, but I thought he worked particularly poor yesterday in terms of helping us out by pressing. The first half was just so disjointed and lethargic. It was as if we'd been off for 2 weeks and not trained together. It was like we'd all been on holiday and then just all arrived back. And we didn't really know each other. I was really disappointed with the first half. But credit to the second half. And I can't really say, Barry Cotter made the huge difference, because I don't actually think he played particularly well. But what he did do is inject some energy like he does. And he injects that pace. I still think he's terribly susceptible defensively. But he did what he did. And I think that sort of gave us the impetus to go forward. And then obviously Phillips for Benson, which, like I say, I thought Benson was a bit unfortunate, but he would just weren't in the game. And I'm controversial here, because I thought Cosgrove was stupid. I thought, regardless of what we're saying about referees, if that's that, it in this day and age, that's what it is. They know this. They're professional footballers. They have meetings with referees. They watch things. And for me, if I were Collins, I'd have been absolutely furious with him yesterday because he's now got a ban. He can't get excuse me, he can't get a run of games anyway because he can't seem to get in the team and hold a place. He's not going to do that now. I just thought he was idiotic, to be honest. I thought the first one, yeah, all right, he lost his head and he went mental. But if it had been the opposition, we'd have been going mad, saying he needs booking, he can't behave like that when that's happened. And then literally, less than 5 minutes afterwards, he goes and makes a dubious challenge. I don't think it was a definite yellow, but I think you've sowed the seed in the referee's mind by being what you've just done. And then obviously he did that. So I were more angry with Cosgrove than I was with the ref, if I'm being honest, because I just thought at that point we were well on top. And Alan said, I'm thinking there's only one winner here. We were pushing forwards. They were on the back foot for probably the first time in the game. And then we did that. And it sort of then, I think that suddenly switched our minds into, we're just going to take this draw because you know what? We've first half, we didn't deserve anything. Second half, we've been better. We've got the goal, which was class. And I think it changed our mindset into, let's just see out the last sort of 15 minutes plus 3 hours at a time. And get out of here with a point, which on reflection was fair, and for us, yeah, I think that's what we'd have well taken, specifically after the first half. So yeah, it was a funny one, really. I can't see the sense in Styles not being involved. I don't get that. You know, people say, "Oh, well, it's been."
Tracy.
Pardon?
Colin just said he was sick. He should be back Tuesday.
Oh,
he come back from Hungary, and he was unwell.
That's fine, because when people are saying, "No, he's not playing because he's been on international duty," I'm like, has anyone seen the Premier League this week? And I'm pretty certain they've been playing in all over the world. So that's fine, because that was annoying me as well. So I'm glad he was sick. I'm not glad he was sick, but I'm glad there was a reason behind it. Sorry, Callum, I'm not glad you're ill.
We were all surprised at that when we had team selection, but I think Richie Wellens got it right, and they played on Cosgrove, because as soon as he come on, their players were niggling him all the time, tugging his shirt.
You know, he's played at this level, hasn't he?
Probably know his temperament.
But he's got to be better than that, hasn't he? Because he's not a young kid. He's not a young kid who's come on and he's getting a bit of, you know, sort of old man, if you like. He's played at this level. And
I said that, Tracy. Said that to me and Alan, being old man.
Hey,
say what you mean. Say what you mean.
On a Sunday morning, aren't
they? God, dear me. I wouldn't negate anything that you've said about Sam Cosgrove. I thought he was silly. I'd also add, you know, about Benson. He comes so close to scoring a goal. It just a cross came to him when he was free in the box, but it came a bit too quick for him, and it sort of bubbled away from him just wide.
Well, what a smash it, didn't it? What a smash it.
We come out at stalls, didn't we? Come out totally different. We could have been 1-0 up within 2 minutes at restart.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my answer.
That would have been interesting. What happened to their goal? Who chalked that off? If we come out 1-0 up in second half after being 1-0 down.
Oh, I've got to agree with that, though. I thought the penalty was ridiculous.
Alan probably didn't see it penalty or eating his KFC.
Got his boneless bucket.
Yeah.
Smuggled it through turnstiles.
Too early. It wouldn't be same on this show if you won't pick on me. There you go.
It's true. It's part of the fabric of this show, Al. It's what we've designed it around.
Oh, did you pick on the other day when I went on? You know.
Oh, we still picked on you, Al.
The best show ever. Somebody, Dean Puddipat said, the best show ever. It's going down today, Dean. It's going down today.
You don't need to be on the show for us to have a pop at your Al.
Oh, I know you too well, Mr. Simcox.
You know, it's come from a place of kindness and love, Alan. You know that.
Going back to the game, is there anything else we need to cover? I know there's one thing which, do you think Barry Cotter meant that pass? Because to me, the way he lined it up, I thought he was going to put it into box. He disguised that really well, because I thought that was in far post. when I saw it. And then when he drilled it across the pitch, I was like, I didn't see that coming.
If it'd been Adam Phillips, I'd have said, yes, he meant it. It'd been Barry Cotter, not a hope in hell.
It was a good move, though. We put it cross field and went to our side, and then it come back to Herbie. And Herbie's body shape was, when I saw it, I thought that's really good. And, it spurred us on, and we needed it. We needed that to get back into the game. And I say credit to 1,100 Barnsley fans who got there. Trains, planes, automobiles. Yeah. It were a bad day. Some buses were on A1. They couldn't get down A1. They were stopped. They had to turn off somewhere and come towards M1. Then they ended up getting stuck on a lane where a lorry got stuck under a bridge, which were flooded. A lot of fans on trains. Trains were cancelled. So, and Dan Finney.
Traffic news with Alan Smith.
There you go. So, yeah, credit to everybody who got there.
What you need to watch, if you haven't, is when we score, you need to watch Barry Cotter's reaction if you've not seen it. First of all, he stands and does a bit of a celebration on his own for making an amazing pass. And then he comes across that pitch, and the height he gets to get on top of that celebration, that guy needs to be playing centre forward if he can get that high, because my goodness, you want to see him. I thought you were going to go into stand.
I've got that photo, Tracy.
Worth a watch.
I've got that photo. I've got him. They're all celebrating in front of us. And who's this guy about 6 foot up in the air?
He meant it then. He meant that pass.
Yeah, he meant it.
He meant it then.
He did. He was trying to see where Al was. Al, I'm here, Al.
Have you got a picture of that, Al? Because that'd be all right for thumbnail. That.
I'll send it. I've got that one. Yeah, I'll send it.
Right, just well, to be honest, you did send about 3,000 pictures yesterday, so it probably did get lost in noise a bit.
I'll send it again.
Nice. Cheers, Al. Leyton Orient, anything else to discuss, or shall we move forward on to Shrewsbury?
I thought they did all right. Like I said, I thought the two wide men were particularly effective for them, and I thought they defended pretty well, and they passed it about a fair bit in the first half. I think it were a bit boring in the first half with all the passing across the backs and what have you. But as the game wore on in the second half, early on in the second half, really, it became without there being too many chances, it did become end-to-end football where both teams, going at it until, as Tracy says, we got reduced to 10 men and we stopped doing it. But I thought they acquitted themselves quite well. I do think, as Alan says, that. The outsmithed. I mean, old Mendham. That was it. The Smith does a bit, but I thought, I do think we were robbed because I don't think it were a penalty. But I don't think a draw were a bad result for us. And I thought it wasn't a bad result for them. I thought, on another day you'd say that they deserved a draw because I thought they played quite well.
And credit to Leyton Orient fans, Stuart let us know that it was a sellout for them. Yeah. So, we must be a big club in that league.
Only in our heads, Al.
I didn't say that word down the road, though. I said a big club.
No, I know. No, well done to them. And I wish them well for if all their fans are like that Adam Parks, I think, I wish them well for the future. I hope they can beat some other sides up at the top.
Well, give credit, went in a pub and it were a home when we got there. And I was just ordering a pint to a beer. And it were a night, is it Bradwell Brewery? Gold. And she's pulling it and he says, you can't stop in here. It's a home pub. I says, you sure? She's just pulling it. No, you can't have it. And Leyton Orient guy come round. I says, I'm with him. He says, yeah, he's with me. He wanted me to stop in pub. I tried. So we had to walk 5 minutes further to get one, which were supposedly for away fans, sorry. And a good turnout.
All I've heard there is Al caused a ruckus and got kicked out of a pub in Leyton Orient.
That's all I heard.
Really? That's why I've heard that.
And Smithy tried to blag her and all. I'm with him.
We didn't have to pay for it, Alan.
So he lied on top of it, Josh.
One of the other lads from East Dean, he'd already pulled his spine. He said, I'm not paying for it. Oh, well, just leave. It's all right, that.
Causing a ruckus and got kicked out.
refusing to pay for the beer.
Exactly.
That's what I heard.
An outrageous behaviour there, Al. So, looking forward to Tuesday night then, the Barnsley at home to Shrewsbury Town. As you can see on the stats pack, Matt Taylor took over in June, replacing Steve Cottrell. Top scorer this season, Daniel Udo with 2. League position 15, form seems patchy, play 5-3-2 similar to us, and obviously with Daniel Udo with two goals this season. Shrewsbury are the second lowest scorers with 7, but only conceded 13, so not scoring many. Difficult to break down, especially for the position in which they're in, of not shipping too many goals. Andy, interesting to see sort of the trade-off in which they've got of sort of not too bad defensively, but it's coming at a price.
I'm glad you've confirmed that it's Matt Taylor that's the manager and not Steve Cottrell. That's a right start. That's really good. That's really good. It's good that you listen to Tracy.
Yeah,
I'm pleased about that. Yeah, at home, I mean, they've not done. You know, if you look at the stats overall, they've won 5, drawn 2, and lost 6, so it doesn't look that bad. And the 15th with 17 points. But if you break it down home and away, they've won 2, drawn 2, and lost 2 at home. But away, they've drawn 1, won 1. I think it were away to Fleetwood, but no doubt Tracy will put me straight again for this thing. But lost 4. So they're not doing particularly well in that respect away from home. But, 7 goals scored, that's very, very few. And 13 conceded, that's only 1 a game that they've conceded. So, it's going to be a tough old game. We'll see. I mean, my experience of them in the past is that they've been quite industrial in the way that they play football. They get in your face, they get stuck in. They're quite useful in the dark arts. But that was under Steve Cottrell, who was no longer the manager. So maybe that'll have changed under Matt Taylor.
Andy.
We'll see. Matt Taylor out. So we'll see. I'll be interested. I'm now interested, now that it's not Steve Cottrell that's the manager, be quite interested to see how they play under Matt Taylor. So, hopefully it'll be a decent game, but it feels like it might be quite a dour game. You watch, it'll be about 10-all, but it could be, hopefully it'll not be as dour a game as I'm starting to think it might be. Oh, they did well yesterday, though. They beat Derby yesterday, but even then, they beat a 1-0. Even then, it took a Conor Hourihane own goal. Well done, Conor. Up the Derby to win. So they didn't even score one of the 7 goals themselves. So dour. It's going to be dour, I think.
Yeah, I think when you sort of look at them stats, Al, it looks to me like one of those sides who's going to sit. They're going to sit behind the ball, especially when you look at their away form as well. They just need to pick up results. So I wouldn't expect them to come out and bring the game to us. I think they'll be quite happy to sit back and let us try and break them down.
That's not new, though, is it, to teams what's coming to Oakwell? Because last few sides have come and sat back and give us possession, and we haven't been able to break them down. So it's not going to be easy. Another night at Oakwell under lights. What is it? They've lost 6, haven't they? I think. Is it 6 they've lost?
Oh.
Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury, I think.
They've lost 6 games, haven't they?
Yeah.
Out at 13, so they've nearly lost 50% of the games. So they're not. I don't think they're going to come out and go at us and try and win game. I think they'd come and be happy to get a point at Oakwell. But we've got to get a starting lineup spot on, I think, and come out at blocks firing on all cylinders and take game to them. So yeah, going to be an interesting night, I think, Tuesday.
One of the key things there, which Al's pulled up for me, Tracy, is getting that starting lineup right. Who do you think? Who are you expecting to come back in or see some rotation with on Tuesday?
Well, I think the back three pretty much picks itself at the minute until Casper. Then that'll sort of throw a bit more of a dilemma for Collins. But I think the back three picks itself. Probably the 2 wing backs. Although Keith had a bit of a nightmare, I I still would start him. I think generally he's deserved his starting position. You've got obviously a midfield decision. Russell and Kane. As we know, I'm not Russell's biggest fan, but I think until Connell is fully fit, he just needs to be in that team. So it's whether you go Phillips or Benson, I suppose, is for me that decision there.
Or Styles.
Of course, or Styles, but Styles, well, I'd put Styles on the bench if he hasn't been well, and now we know he's not been well, but we'll see. I personally would probably go with Phillips. I think we need to go from the front foot, and as I agree with Andy and Alan, I think they'll be very not defensive, but I think they'll just come and try and sort of just hold their game. I can't see them sort of going to attack us and put us under pressure. Looking at them, you were right, Andy, that it is Fleetwood, but it was the first game of the season that they beat Fleetwood. They haven't worn away since then. So, and I noticed early in October they went to Oxford and got walloped. Now I know Oxford, to be fair, are doing very well, but yeah, they don't seem to be doing very well away at all. So I think they'll definitely come and just sit in. Front two, I personally think McAtee deserves a start with Cole. And again, I just think he brings more energy and will put them under more pressure with his slides. I mean, and if it's been raining, he does love a slide, so he'll definitely be all over the front. So yeah, I would go with Phillips in for Benson and McAtee in for Waters. So yeah, I mean, I know there's been a big J-Lo, did he score a hat-trick yesterday, Alan? You'll know this.
Yeah, under 18s. I heard they were saying when we got it ground that he got an hat-trick for under 18s.
Yeah, so I don't know if with Cosgrove now being obviously suspended, I wonder if it will give him an opportunity to come onto the bench, because he's clearly deserved it. And when he's played in the world famous pizza trophy, I think he's showed his promise there. So yeah, I think he probably deserves to get that chance on the bench. And maybe, we're cruising 4-0 at half time, get him on in the second half.
You did say it right, the pizza Josh trophy.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
Josh, did you see it?
I did see it. I'll be honest, if we don't get a Papa John's dugout
bus stop, Papa John's
bus stop, there's a perfect spot for it. We can put it right between West End and Ponty End. I'll sit there every single week.
The best thing was at half time, I don't know if you saw this, they got pizzas delivered.
You can throw more. What a fantastic initiative from Leyton Orient.
Best thing I've seen this season. Sorry, I digress.
I don't mind a pizza, but it's not quite the same as the.
Oh yeah, that's because you've got your chicken flatbread in East End.
KFC rules.
I'm with Tracy on what I don't know if Callum Styles will be recovering from it, or if it was just a minor thing that'd stop him starting. For me, it could either be Callum Styles or Adam Phillips, but I think it should be one or the other. To be fair, I think at left wing back, I thought Nicky Cadden had a good game yesterday, but I thought that Owen Dodgson did well when he came on as well. He had a good run as well. So either of them, with the other one coming on, I thought were quite good. I slightly disagree with Tracy about right wing back. I thought both right wing backs yesterday were poor, and I don't think they've had the best games lately. I would be sorely tempted, since we need to get, if we're going to say that these are going to be defensive, let's put it that way, I think we need to be more proactive. For me, I would change the back three and put another centre half in, and we've got a few choices to put in, and move Jordan Williams to right wing back so he can get motoring down that wing and get at him, because I think he gives us something more at wing back. For me, although I think he's doing okay at centre back, and I'm not going to knock him playing at centre back because I think he's doing all right. I think him, the way it's been going these last few matches, him there and the two, either of the two right wing backs is not as strong as, say, for example, McCarthy or Shepherd playing at centre half and him playing further forward. I think that's for me that's a better, a more attacking, a stronger combination, if you like.
From what Collins has said in press conferences, though, I think he's set on Williams being a centre, like back three. He seems to be talking about that's his position now. I don't disagree with saying I don't think that'll ever happen.
No, I don't. And, it brings, it's quick, it's quick. And, in the past, we've been, susceptible to quick players playing against us when we've had a sort of more pedestrian back three. So it's not that I don't understand that. I just think we're not doing that well, in my personal opinion. We're not doing that well at right wing back, and I think we need to. For me, it would be a no-brainer. But managers manage. They know what it's like day in, day out. But from my lofty viewpoint at the top of the East Stand, where every substitution I'll make or every starting lineup I'll make is brilliant. It should be if it's not going to be Smithy marauding down right side, that's what it should. I know it won't be, but that's what. That's what I think.
If you listen to the post-match press conference with Collins at the end, he says Styles should be okay for Tuesday evening. So I can see Styles being at starting 11.
Oh, I can. But if he weren't, as Tracy said, Adam Phillips, I think he needs a run of games as well, because he was superb last season. He's not quite captured the same.
He's not firing on cylinders at the moment, bless him, is he?
No, he's not. But you're not going to play on all your full cylinders when you sat down watching, are you? That's the only other thing. We'll see. But I won't argue with what Tracy said, and I think she's right about Jallo as well. Maybe it'll be a chance for him. If Shrewsbury's got any sense, they'll see what's the best way of having a go at us at home, which is go for us right from the start. Close us down quickly, press like mad. And if they don't, then that's what Oxford did. If they defend, then we could well do an Oxford on them.
And Tracy's right. At the moment, his strikers have dried up scoring, haven't they?
Yeah. We need to get among them. Not tip it. I mean, I ain't got a problem with keeping possession of the ball, but it's got to be a purpose to it. We need to get at them. I don't mean putting long, aimless balls in, but we need to, because that don't work either. But we need to get at them and make ourselves available. The midfield needs to make itself available, not just coming back to get it and then pass it back to the centre half and what have you, but to turn and go forward with purpose. And it unnerves defenders. If somebody goes at them with purpose, it unnerves them. So we're not doing that enough. Nicky Cadden did it yesterday, and it got great rewards down the left-hand side. And so did Owen Dodgson. Went at him, and it got some, some benefit for us. So we need to do that. If they're just going to defend with, I'm going to need someone at my age to be kept awake. I don't want them to just defend and us just tippy-tappy it around them and spend 90 minutes just playing in front of them and not having a dig at them. So keep me entertained, lads. That's all I'd say.
Well, that's a 3-1 loss, but at least you're entertaining. Incoming then. Predictions, Al. What you fancying for it then?
Oh, I'm going big. I'm going for. We're going to thrash them, as Andy says, and I mean thrash them. 4-0.
Oh, put that down as 1 point at best. I'm not sure about that one. Tracy?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I think, this is going to kickstart our home form. Although we were all confident, weren't we, before Leyton Orient? Yeah, I'm confident. I think he's going to get them fired up, and we're going to set off on the front foot from the word go. 3-0.
Oh, goodness. Andy?
Well, I tell you this, we were confident before the Orient match. We had 84 predictions for that match. 69 said a Barnsley win. 10 said a draw, and 5 said a defeat. There were 8 people that I'll just say this.
There's a lot of draws, that.
I know. 10 for a draw. 8 people said 1-1. Adam Parks from their side, so I'll ignore that. But also Andrew Goddard, Andy Denham, Reece Inman, Keegan Kilner, Olivia Mushu, Mike's daughter, Gage Felsted, and Philip Tye all said 1-1. So today, I'm hoping they're all having a chicken dinner today, or at the very least, Smithy's fried chicken. We'll see. For me, the score for me, I'm going to go with stats. I'm surprised Alan ain't gone with the stats. He's gone big, but I'm surprised they aren't going with the stats. They've scored 7 goals in 13 games, so it's a goal every other game. Well, they scored, although it was Conor Ulrahan, they scored yesterday, so they're not going to score on Tuesday, so it's going to be 0 for them. They've conceded 13 in 13, so we're going to get a goal, so we're going to win 1-0. It's in the stars. It's there. It's in the stats, Al. Gobsmacked, you haven't seen it, Al. It's in the stats. 1-0 to Barnsley.
Don't be late getting into your seat then, because we'll score in first minute.
Oh, I don't think that'll happen, Al. I'll not be late into my seat, Al, because I've got to get into a flipping car park this time.
What should I go for? I hate when we play teams that have, they've won their first away win, first game of the season. So the due a win. They've not scored all season, so they're due to have a flurry of goals in one game. And we always end up being that team that this happens against. So I reckon...
He's back, Al. He's back.
Mr. Doom and Gloom.
We know Captain Mandarin's back.
It's cost of that. It's cost of that draw yesterday. It's thrown me.
Sergeant Fraser, Al, he's in.
The happy clappiness has
the
been
building.
sucked out of me.
He can say this now because he's not coming over Pennines, is he, on Tuesday night? So he can say what nobody's going to have a go at him inside Oakwell when we're stuffing them.
Or if we consider go, told you. I told
you,
Josh. I told you the video goal. I think. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to 2-1 win.
Ooh.
A 2-1
He's gone
win.
for your special, Mr. Simcox. Wow.
I'm glad he's been overly negative, Al.
I'm going to wax him. 2-1. No, I think they'll make it hard, and we do struggle against each side to break them down. But I think an early goal would be a massive, massive help in doing that.
And it'd be nice to have a decent ref on a Tuesday night.
It would be, Al. It'd be nice to for us to get an early goal, because I think that could open the game up. Open the game up.
I think I've seen a stat about that we've had 11 against us and 1 for us. I think
since last season, from last season.
Something like that. Yeah. There've been 11 against us.
I saw a stat that we've had 1 penalty in the last 69 league games, which is insane considering for both those seasons so far.
And Neil Collins has come into belief what we all have, and he didn't think it was, but it's there, Neil. It's there for all to see.
Shocking, Al, I tell you. Shocking.
And on that note,
right, we'll wrap it up here then. So make sure to like, subscribe, get your predictions in the comments below. Because the mini competition is underway, and even if you didn't predict on last day, you're only 3 points behind, which is 1 correct score. Unlike Alu's went for 4-0. When the stats don't say that, according to Andy. So I reckon you saying that, and it's going to tweak some people's predictions. They're going to go big with Al, and then you'll say that, and then have a little rethink.
Stats are there to be broken, aren't they? Stats are there to be broken.
It's true.
So I can't believe you're saying that, Alan. You, Stato Smith, saying stats are there. I can't, but do you know, I'm not kidding.
That late night from his journey back yesterday.
I think that late night whiskey is still in his head. It's gone to him last night.
He needs another nap after this, I reckon.
Oh, I was raising a glass to Bobby Charlton. There you are.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Al. Fair enough, Al.
Right. We'll catch you on Wednesday for our reaction show and preview of Fleetwood at home. See you later.